Hi, everyone. This session is going to be focused on study credits, making salary credit advancement, and the Frontline tool that we use, professional growth, to get there. So this is going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge of different information, and certainly information you can come back to as it becomes more relevant when you take STI courses or graduate courses. So here we are. We're on the Scarsdale homepage, and as I had showed earlier in the orientation, I'm going to just click on that systems portal, and I'm going to go right to Frontline. And again, we're prompted with the single sign-on to come in here. And the reason I'm starting in Frontline is because there's a lot of management of information in here that is connected to salary credit and study credit growth. So I'm just going to try to walk through some of these things. So I'm starting on professional growth here, and I get a dashboard as an administrator that you won't see necessarily. But this is where we handle both the professional growth side and the evaluation side. But today, I'm going to focus on learning plan. So I'm going to just click on that. And this is the typical dashboard that we see when we come in to Frontline. So I'm just going to explain this screen real quickly. So first, little news and info. We keep some good Google Doc links here for how-tos and sort of steps you have to take in this system. So keep an eye on those. That news and info is always helpful. So in this section here, it's a section that looks at your activities. The purple, as opposed to this greenish blue color, the purple is focused on the professional growth side of things. So we have these different categories. I'm going to avoid the draft and waitlist for a second. But what happens is when you enroll in an activity through Frontline, it goes through an approval process. And while your very first approval is waiting, it's going to be in this section, pending prior approval. Once it's approved by your supervisors, it's going to move down here into an approved and in progress section. Then the activity takes place. Days or months or weeks or months could go by. And at the point when you complete the course, the instructor is going to mark that activity, confirm attendance, and perhaps mark it complete or await final credit. Once you have an activity here that is awaiting final credit, it is then your responsibility to go in and manage that activity and go to I don't have it in this particular one, but go to what's called the Mark Complete button. So you would click Mark Complete, and that would enable you to submit the activity for final credit. Once you've got some activities completed, you see that list. I think it shows your most recent 5 here. If you want to see your entire history, you can go to your portfolio and see the whole list. And this is a good place to stop because there are a number of different purposes for which you can take activities. And those purposes are important. One purpose for many activities, PD hours. The state of New York requires for professional certificate holders 100 hours every 5 years of continuing teacher and leader education, CTLE. So we, Scarsdale Public Schools, any PD we offer, issue CTLE credit, and any STI you take, they also issue CTL credit. So if that is often a purpose that is selected in the activity and remains selected, even if it also has another purpose. Other activities could be release time PD, meaning you are on the teaching day clock, but you've gotten to go to a conference or you've gone out to a workshop. That's one of the selections. And you'll also see the opportunity to select STI credit or STI stipend if you're enrolled in an STI course, or stack stipend or credit if you're in a stack course. Those will be visible to you in the forms. So I want to shift now to activity catalogs and look here that you could click right on the STI catalog here and either search for terms, dates, or just browse the catalog and see what's being offered. Let's say we want to take the Stack Google Classroom for Calendar at the high school. You'd click on that, you'd click Enroll and follow the process. We also have regional catalogs from Putnam and Northern Westchester BOCES, for example, or the district catalog when we run PD within the school day. So those are the ways that you can go and see the opportunities available to you. We also have forms, and this is one that's important. And one of them, I'll talk about each of them. First is the PD conference request form. We do have a grant program here called the Professional Development Conference and School Visit Grant, and it operates on several different time periods during the year. You'll get an email of invitation to apply, and this is the form that you would fill out to apply for those grants. Next is the general conference request. You see a different color. If you're intending to attend a conference, many of which are virtual these days, you can fill out this form, and all these red fields are required. One thing to note about these forms is they do connect with our absence system, the Frontline absence management. So if you are missing a school day or part of a school day, this will send that record directly over to that system as well, so you don't have to double enter it. Next form is the graduate credit approval form. And this form is if you're taking a graduate course, perhaps you're in a leadership program, whatever it is, you, in order to get credit for that course towards salary advancement or toward $300 per credit stipend if you're at MA 75 or at the PhD level, you have to fill out this form, get it approved, and then submit your transcript to do that. So that's important. And one other form is the PD log form, where you're recording things that aren't necessarily for credit or stipend. They're activities you may have been involved in, and they capture self-scheduled professional learning that you can just save in this as a professional record. Okay, so in terms of this, when you are ready to look for a salary credit lane change, as we call it, or a column change, that's moving from MA to MA 15 to MA 30 to MA 60 to MA 75 or to PhD. The process that we follow, I'm going to go on to our website, the HR website here. The process to follow is outlined in the contract. So what we do is we make salary credit changes 2 times during the year. We make changes effective September 1st, and we make changes effective February 1st. In order, if you are ready and you've got enough credits for a column change, a salary track change, as long as you notify us and have all the appropriate transcripts. Obviously, for an STI course, you don't need a transcript. It's contained in Frontline. But if you take an outside graduate course, we will need an official transcript. As long as you apply, and an application is simply an email to me stating I've qualified to move to the next salary column. As long as you let us know by November 15th, we will retroactively make the change back to September 1st of that year. Similarly, if you let us know by April 15th, we will retroactively upgrade your salary back to February 1st. So this is all explained here, including once you reach MA 75 or doctorate, you will be eligible for a $300 stipend for each graduate credit beyond the master's. Again, you'd have to follow that approval process. So that's a little bit on study credit, on the use of Frontline professional growth, and please look to the how-to resources that are available on our website there.